Ever wondered how a tiny, seemingly harmless decision can spiral into a full-blown disaster? It's not usually one big mistake that causes a catastrophe, but a chain of small, seemingly insignificant choices. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology behind why we make these risky little decisions and how they can lead to major accidents. Let's start with a concept called heuristics. These are mental shortcuts our brains use to make decisions quickly. Think of it like your brain's autopilot. When you're driving a familiar route, you don't consciously think about every single turn, right? That's a heuristic at work. But what happens when that shortcut leads you down the wrong path? For example, you might think, I've done this 1,000 times. I don't need to double check the safety lock. This is a classic mental shortcut that trades safety for speed, and sometimes the consequences are severe. This brings us to another dangerous psychological trap: risk normalization. This is when we gradually get used to a risky situation until it no longer feels dangerous. Imagine a construction worker who initially feels nervous about not wearing a helmet, but after a few days of seeing others do it and nothing bad happening, the fear fades. The risk becomes normalized. He starts thinking, it's fine. Nothing's ever happened before. This is the "it won't happen to me" syndrome. A dangerously false sense of security that builds up over time, one small ignored risk at a time. Now, let's add some pressure to the mix. Time, pressure, and fatigue are a recipe for disaster. When you're rushing to meet a deadline, or you're just plain exhausted, your brain's decision-making abilities take a nosedive. Your focus narrows. You're more likely to rely on those risky mental shortcuts, and you're less likely to notice subtle warning signs. You might skip a crucial safety check just to save 5 minutes. A 5-minute gamble that could have lifelong consequences. Your brain is essentially in survival mode, prioritizing, finishing the task over performing it safely. And it gets even more complicated when other people are around. This is where the bystander effect comes into play. You might see something that looks a bit unsafe, but you look around and nobody else is reactive. So you think, well, if it was really a problem, someone else would have said something. This diffusion of responsibility means everyone assumes someone else will act. So, nobody does. In a workplace, this can create a culture of silence where potential hazards are seen but never addressed, simply because everyone is waiting for someone else to be the first to speak up. So, we've seen how mental shortcuts, normalizing risk, pressure, and group dynamics can set the stage for accidents. The question is, how do we break this dangerous cycle? It starts with conscious awareness. The first step is to recognize these patterns in yourself and in your environment. One powerful strategy is to implement simple, non-negotiable safety habits. Think of them as deliberate circuit breakers for your brain's autopilot. This could be a 2-minute check before starting any task, where you consciously pause and review the potential risks. Make it a rule, not a suggestion. This forces you to switch from automatic to manual mode, engaging the more thoughtful, analytical part of your brain. Another key is to fight against risk normalization. Actively question the status quo. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean it's the safe way. Encourage a culture where asking, "Is this really safe?" is seen as a sign of competence, not weakness. Create an environment where speaking up about a potential hazard is rewarded, not punished. This counters the bystander effect by making safety a shared, active responsibility. Finally, manage your personal state. Recognize when you're tired or stressed, it's not a sign of weakness to admit you're not at your best. In those moments, it's even more critical to slow down and be extra deliberate. Building in short breaks, staying hydrated, and getting enough sleep aren't luxuries. They are fundamental components of a personal safety system. The truth is, major accidents rarely come out of nowhere. They are the final, tragic result of a long chain of small, poor decisions. By understanding the psychology that drives these choices, we can learn to interrupt the chain, make more conscious decisions, and create a safer world for ourselves and everyone around us. It all starts with that one small, safe choice. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more content on how our minds shape our world. Stay safe out there.